I'm doing that.
We like to kick it on a laid-back vibe, smoke a little, drink a little, party all night, look up and see all the stars in the sky. Yeah, that's my kind of night. Now I ain't saying that it ain't going down in the city, cause I've been there when they turn it up. But if you need to unwound, slow down, come on out to my town, cause I know they don't do it like we do it in the country. Boot stomping, beer drinking country, slanging mud off a big truck country. If you ever get tired, them big city lights, just catch you right out to the country. Cut off trees and bare feet country, drop a tailgate, build a bonfire kind of country. Go on and kick it where you want, but I bet they don't do it like we do it in the country.
No, they don't do it like we do it in the country. It's something, catch you sitting out on the tailgate with some BG bumping. All them places that they don't go, we just ride around on them dirt roads. That Chevrolet stay skint back while I'm dodging all of them potholes. We ride slow, windows down, pulling up to that rowdy crowd. Bonfire, got country girls, got plenty drinks, so it's on now. That good smoke, that good shine, that recipe for a good time. So hop up in my truck and let's ride
Like we do it in the country, boot stomping, beer drinking country, slanging mud off a big truck country. If you ever get tired, them big city lights, just catch you right out to the country. Cut off trees and bare feet country, drop a tailgate, build a bonfire kind of country. Go on and kick it where you want, but I bet they don't do it like we do it in the country. You ever need to hit reset?
or just push pause.
I know a place.
And I know a way, so come on.
Do it like we do it in the country. Boot stomping, beer drinking country, slanging mud off a big truck country. If you ever get tired, them big city lights, just get you right out to the country. Cut off trees and bare feet country, drop a tailgate, build a bonfire kind of country. Go on and kick it where you want, but I bet they don't do it like we do it in the country. They don't do it like we do it in the country. No, they don't.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to End Zone Eats Week 33. We got a couple different special guests in tonight. It's a first for us, but my buddy from Southern Rollers, Mr. Kyle Stewart, is in the house. He said he's been on the show as a guest from his house, but today he said, I'm coming on.
I'm coming in person.
So, Kyle, tell me a little bit about you and what you do.
So, yeah, what Southern Rollers was a brand that I created to show people that just because you're in the wheelchair, it doesn't stop you from doing whatever you want to do. And, I just wanted people to know that it can look different, but you can still accomplish things in life, and your situation shouldn't hold you back from doing anything you want to do.
Absolutely. And that's why you're here. And
Yes, sir.
you came on a couple times on the stream, but said this time I'm coming in
I'm
person.
coming in person. I had to go be with the boys.
You had to come hang out with the boys.
All right?
We hung out at the baseball game Tuesday.
Oh,
and
that was awesome.
Now we're hanging out here at the show.
And then you showed us a picture of the turkey
Oh, yeah. That was.
that you shot.
That was. Don't make me give you an exact date, but a couple of weeks ago, I killed my first turkey with Kenyon Mason from Southern Boys Outdoors, and that was a big accomplishment for me because I had hunted before, but I had never shot a turkey. That was something that always eluded me because it's hard. You gotta prep. you got a car, you gotta have a place that has turkeys to begin with. So it was a big accomplishment, and it wouldn't have been done without Kenyon Mason and Southern
Southern
Boys.
Boys. Yeah, Kenyon Bankston at Southern Boys in Hammond is a good friend of ours. He actually sells a lot of our products at his store. It's a outdoor store that has your deer feed and different turkey calls and pots and pans, and it's like a hardware store except it's more of an outdoor store. But yeah, they got it going on over there. And then right here we have Mr. Heath Schroyer, who is the senior. You corrected me. You corrected me. You were the senior deputy AD at LSU and external. You are the
That's good. Senior deputy works, man.
senior
Senior
deputy
deputy works.
executive
you for-
executive director of external affairs on the LSU system.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a mouthful.
So first off, tell me what that whole mouthful means. Like as an
Well,
executive director of external affairs of the LSU system, what is that?
I just think the easiest way to sum it up, and I'm glad you asked because I get asked that a lot because, everyone says, well, what exactly do you do, right? So I basically backfilled Verge's old job. That is the simplest way to put it. Obviously Verge was on the senior staff, for a couple athletic directors and did a lot of government relations, did a lot of external things throughout the entire system. So I took over that role. And then, really just work with him on strategy. Obviously everyone in the country right now is trying to figure out how to maximize revenue, how to maximize efficiencies. So really working with him on all that. I mean, I've met with Taft. I've met and spent some time with Clay Harris. I've been here 9 days, so I'm really trying to, get up and running. But and then obviously I oversee basketball, and so it's a lot. It's a big job. I'm excited about it. It was not an easy decision, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, I think it was. But I loved where I lived. I loved the job I had at McNeese, but when Verge, really laid this out of where he was trying to take this athletic department, and obviously, to be able to reunite with Dr. Wade Roos, the president, who was the president of McNeese when I was the AD there. It was just, and to see the role really fits my skill set, to be able to come on the executive team and really work hand in hand with Julie Cromer, with Verge. It was just something that for me in my career and this point in time in my life, it's something I really need to do.
So I heard you on Matt's show.
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
30-minute sit down that you did with Matt.
It was great.
And that's when I first actually knew who you were.
Mhm.
And I've heard your name before, but that's when I actually heard you in conversation speak.
Yeah.
And that's when I sent you a message and said, hey, come on.
Come on.
And
Come
talk.
on. That's right.
And for you to respond means the world to us.
Man, listen, I did some research on you guys. You guys do an unbelievable job. I love this venue right here. It's awesome. And I love to talk LSU, love to talk about where we're headed, what we're trying to do. I'm a huge believer in transparency. And I think
have to be there, right?
in today's world, yeah, you have to be. And I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do. And, to have the opportunity to sit here with you guys and then to meet Kyle, it was well worth it. It's been awesome.
And so you grew up in Maryland.
I did. I grew up in Maryland on a dairy farm.
On a dairy farm.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And then you went to DeMatha,
I did.
one of the profound Catholic schools,
I did.
and then started coaching basketball.
I did. And I grew up on a dairy farm. I was a first generation college student. I was recruited to go to DeMatha by a Hall of Famer. His name was Morgan Wooten. It chokes me up. But going there, and I moved when I was 15 to go to DeMatha High School, and he promised me, listen, we're going to be able to open doors for you that you can't open anywhere else. And he was a man of his word, and one of the best decisions that I've ever made. And it really changed the trajectory of my life. Got a college degree, got a master's degree, started coaching, And then, like everybody else, you go all over the country. And almost 9 years ago, I came to Louisiana. And funny story, when I got here, when I came, people said, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I absolutely fell in love with the culture, the people. I will say the first crawfish boil I went to, I'm like, what are these people doing? And now I'm like sucking heads, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
right? Like, but it's been great, and I love it. It's my home. I wouldn't trade what I do for anything.
Yeah, I'm hosting Bayou Brothers is hosting
I mean,
a crawfish boil.
Yeah.
A crawfish boil May
I'm
9th,
in.
May 9th at my house.
Okay, I'm in.
And there'll be about 15 to 25 people there. And there'll be other food for people that don't eat crawfish. Our jambalaya will be there and some other food.
I'm with Joe.
There'll be some live music and it'll be a fun time. But you go there, you're a head coach at 4 different stops. You went to BYU twice
I did.
at many years apart.
Many years apart from that. So my first Division I job was in 1997. And back then I made $25,000 and thought I was rich, because before that I was a junior college coach in California. And if anyone out there knows anything about that, you are completely broke. So I went into debt going to grad school. I lived in a dorm. I made $5,000, and we had a training table that I oversaw. And the head coach said, listen, you can't eat until every player's done. So I would pray that there was one piece of chicken left. So I got a break, and then, it's been a passion of mine. Athletics has been, and the great thing, I think, that I don't ever get an opportunity to talk about a lot is being at, in athletics, but being at BYU with at NC State and UNLV and even Wyoming and all the places, you get to see not only how basketball programs are ran, but you really get to see how an athletic departments are ran. You sit in those meetings, and you can learn a lot by just being around really talented people and seeing what they do and what works for them, and wow, they really do this well at BYU, and at NC State they did this well, and this is their organization chart here. You learn.
You were at NC State for a year too.
I was. So,
But not when Will.
not yet, yeah, for sure. It was about a decade ago. But it was, look, I mean, it's a great place, and it's a huge basketball place. Obviously, it's in the ACC, and but when I was talking to Coach Wade about coming back and coming here, this is home, and I think that Louisiana did the same things to him that it did to me. It just wrapped their arms around you, and they just don't let you go. And even when you're not here, you want to be that, like, it's just something about it. And it's an amazing place. And like I've been here for like a little less than 2 weeks, but LSU is an amazing place. And I think that we're on the cusp of doing some really, really special things, not only in athletics, but also at the university with the system, what they've done, having a chancellor and a president over the system. I think that there's been so many great decisions. And I think that we're on the cusp of doing something special. It's a great time. That's exactly right, Joe. It's a great time. And I think that we're on the, look at our coaches that we have, and our high profile sports.
It's impressive.
It's impressive. And look, it's an honor to be here, an honor to be on this team.
With all that said, I'm going to say it's a great time to be a fan as well, because we have multiple sports, not just basketball, baseball,
That's right.
and all that performing well. We're performing well across multiple sports.
We went for another national championship this weekend, right?
That's right. For
Speaking of
that's right.
gymnastics this afternoon, they advanced to the finals. They didn't even perform very well today.
Yeah.
But they did just enough to come back and finish second in their group, which advanced to Saturday, 3:30 on ABC. They'll go for Jay Clark, and then we'll go for a national championship. They got some pretty impressive athletes on that
Oh
team.
my gosh, yeah. It's to see the PMAC filled up, and all the little girls run around screaming and all that, and all the people. It's just amazing. I mean,
The
what
women's stand, like
Yeah.
them little girls, like we never. When I was growing up, like I'm 43. Like I was growing up, the women's part of it was almost like non-existent.
Yeah.
I mean, Sue Gunner had a good program, but it just didn't really bring no big names in until later on in the thing. But now the little girls, they have that, and it's awesome.
It's great, and what Coach Clark has done
Selling out
here
every week.
has been awesome, and obviously, what Coach Monkey's done with the women's basketball program.
When Dee Bro was here, she got the gymnastics facility in the back, the practice facility.
Yeah.
That place is incredible.
I know.
The women's basketball practice court, incredible. The men's
Yeah.
practice
But
court.
what they say that day,
Incredible.
they had 14,000 or something. Watch the gymnastics that weekend or something. Some kind of records. I mean,
It's crazy.
I mean, I remember. I never went to a gymnastics, but I can remember when they might have that for like the whole year.
Oh yeah, no question. It's amazing. The
It's
fan
Canada
base here, it really is. I mean, it's and it's easy for people to to throw things, throw darts and all with this. But our fan base is second to none. I'm just telling you right now. I've been at 9 different universities or whatever it is, but this is the best fan base in this state. I think Dr. Roos says it best, right? It's 3 letters, it's 2 colors and 1 state, and it's really, really. And I think that this state, how they rally around. I mean, it's
Just recently,
crazy.
when baseball hasn't been playing as well as they
Yeah.
need to, you had a group on social media that raised $20,000 to support the baseball team.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
Mhm.
You don't get that anywhere else.
Right.
All because one guy put a Twitter post up saying, "Hey," or X, whatever it is now.
Yeah. X. That's right.
The X post saying, "Hey, we have 477,000 followers. LSU baseball has 477,000 followers on X.
Mhm.
If each person donated $10 a month, don't go to Starbucks for a day,
Yeah.
but $10 a month, times that by 477,000,
Well,
what you could do to a program."
100%.
And they raised $20,000 in 4 days.
Right.
And just when you have that kind of support,
Yeah.
to try to help a
Mhm.
program
That's
that
right.
isn't playing well right now,
Oh, they'll be fine.
they will.
Yeah.
Player,
Coach Johnson
players,
knows what he's doing. I promise you that.
yeah, you don't win 2 out of 4 and not know what to do. They got a big one this weekend against
They do.
Texas A&M coming to
Yeah,
town.
A&M's in town. That's right.
The way I see it, get in the postseason and anything happens.
100%. Just got to get in there.
It'd be better if we hosted.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
We just got to win enough games to get in.
That's right.
And once you get in, Cooper Moore will be back hopefully this weekend
Mhm.
a little bit, and that'll help pitching rotation a little bit.
Yeah.
And we know this time of year when it gets hot in Alex Box, the ball flies. So it's gonna be fun to watch, and I think they'll have a good finish this season.
speaking of balls flying and getting hot, I'll throw the first question out
Okay.
to the man of the hour.
Yep.
How do you decide what player gets an NIL deal and how much? Is it something where, like, we use Ty Graves, for example, because he's a huge guy. Is it something where Ty Graves calls you on the phone or emails you and says, "Hey, I want to talk to this guy"? Does it kind of work like that?
Well, I'll try to keep it as simple as possible, but we have a whole NIL division within our athletic program in a branding area that is second to none. So they really handle it. They don't call me or Coach Wade or Coach Kiffin or what have you, and Todd Graves or whoever would call them and say, "Hey," or they would call and we would direct them to them. And they really decide what they want to do with each player and all that.
So they approach the player,
Yeah,
or they approach y'all about a certain player.
for sure. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, that is really the genesis of what NIL was really, how it all started was, there's players out there that are, can have value for their name, image, and likeness. And,
Absolutely.
and I think that LSU has been on the forefront to maximize this space as well as anybody in the country, truth be told.
I'm pretty sure I got an NIL deal, or almost made an NIL deal with Trey Dance Green up here one night. I didn't sign anything. So,
He came up here. We were doing a show in there. He came up to because Trey Ledbetter, who owns Pro Dreams, had some stuff signed that he was going to sign.
Yep.
And nobody was in here.
He said a player's coming by to sign later, and it was Trey Dance Green. From
And
football.
so
It's pretty cool.
Trey, he comes in, and we're the only ones in here. He gets his box, walks in our room, and says, "Hey,"
Hey, what y'all doing?
and we have a 5-minute conversation on the show.
That's pretty cool.
And
Oh, he's cool, dude. He's
Joe said, "Hey, you need a merch guy?
no. Adam said
You need a hat."
Adam said he makes hats, and he said, "Oh, I'm gonna have to get me one of them." And I said, "I tell you what, brother, I think we just made it."
That's great. That's awesome.
And I've always said, you go to LSU baseball games or football games, and you see all the advertisements on the wall.
Mhm.
My goal one day is to be one of those.
Mhm.
And it started in my kitchen, and now
It's a great story.
getting there.
Yeah, we were talking off air before we went on, and I mean, where this all originated, and, the microphones from Amazon,
Yep.
and see all where it's developed, and, you could tell the passion that you guys have and what you do it with, and, your hearts are in the right place. There's no doubt that this thing's going to blow up and be amazing.
We have a comment on Facebook.
Okay.
Rachel Felder, she's one of our good friends.
Oh, what's up, Rachel?
She has a page on Facebook called Louisiana Girls.
Sweet.
And she goes to a lot of cook-offs, and she's a big cook-off person, and she's always helping other people in their
Very
thing.
cool.
She actually,
Well, thanks for watching, Rachel.
She actually got me into a couple of stores on her side of the
Nice.
She lives in Port Allen, right on the other side of the bridge. But she knows all about all of these. She has all these at her house. But what's one misconception that fans think that they know how athletic departments run, but really have no clue?
I think, when you go to a game, right, and you just go to the game and you buy some popcorn, you buy a soda, you watch the game, and all the things that go into putting on a game, right, from dealing with the sponsors and making sure that all the reads are right, making sure the ticket sales are right. There's just a single game. I don't think people really realize how much work, whether it's concessions to, all of it. Visiting teams practice, visiting teams, batting practice, shoot arounds, et cetera. All the things that it takes to just put on that event on that day. It's a
You
lot.
just walk in and scan your phone and go
Yeah.
sit in your
Yeah.
seat and grab a beer.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so I think that's,
You don't even-
to answer your question, and I now, when I go to a Saints game, or I go to an NBA game, or even, like when I go, watch the Tigers play and Alex Box, I'm like, wow, this is, because you look at it from a different lens. And I would tell anybody out there that stuff just doesn't happen, right? Not only does it have to all be organized, the timing, the reads, the communication through so many different people and so many different components. It's
There's
remarkable.
television and
It
stuff
really
there
is.
too, and it's-
It is. And I think that's probably one of the biggest misconceptions.
Speaking of television, fans see big TV deals. It's all on ESPN. Everything's on the ESPN app. You can watch every baseball game at LSU on one of the SEC pluses. Or what do fans not realize about where that money actually goes?
Obviously, a lot of it goes, it runs through the conference. The conference is the one that makes the deals, right? The TV contracts. And then from there, the conference disperses it to the schools. But TV, I'll kind of add to that, but TV, I think, has changed college athletics. When you go back to, 20 years ago, 25 years ago even, you couldn't get every single game on TV, right? Now you can sit, in your couch. You can sit in your man cave. You can sit at a bar, and there's 10 games going
Any
on.
game.
100% on every
You can
single
walk
night.
into any bar and say, I want to watch High Point play
Correct.
Grand Valley State.
That's right.
And they'll find it.
That's exactly right.
They'll find it.
And so I think when all of that happened, and then so we had linear TV, and when all of that happened, when you had so many games and conferences were able to negotiate contracts to put their games on TV, and then when streaming happened, there was another big influx and another big change. So where does it end? I don't know, but I really think that to answer your question, TV has really changed college athletics.
Going back to that revenue share thing, we were kind of talking about a little bit before we started. Is that a revenue share thing, like Vanderbilt gets the same cut of the pie as LSU,
Yeah, I think from a TV, I haven't looked at all the
Yeah, no, I
SEC,
get it.
contracts or anything like that, so I don't want to misspeak. But when in other conferences that I was in, that was how it was. But you have up to a certain amount within rev share, and obviously all the SEC teams are maximizing that and more.
The structure of the athletic department being Verge is the AD, and then you got several senior deputy ADs.
Well, you have Julie and myself, and then
Yeah.
you have other deputy, and you have deputy ADs under that, and it's a huge operation.
It didn't used to be like that, like that many people. How does that compare to, say, Georgia or McNeese and that?
Well, I think that obviously there's more going on, right? I mean, it's a bigger operation, so you're going to have more people. But I also think that everyone is looking and saying, how do we maximize revenue and how do we become as efficient and lean as you can? But make no mistake, that sounds great, but you can't cut yourself to prosperity. So I think that you all, no matter what business you're running, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's this, whether it's a memorabilia shop, everyone does it the same. Is you sit down and say, okay, here is our revenues, here's our expenses. How do we maximize that? How do we become more efficient? And that's really that's no different. Running a business is no different than running an athletic department. At McNeese, it's the same challenges. I kind of like to joke where like you're playing the same poker game, you're just playing it with a lot bigger chips.
This is high
And
stakes.
the lights are a little bit hotter,
Right.
but it's the same thing. It's trying to have clear lines of communication because there's a lot of people going on. It's one thing that I've been really impressed with since my time has been here is that the ability to communicate. And there's a lot. You have Playfly, who's the multimedia rights. You have TAF. You have ticketing. You have fundraising. You have so many. You have alumni. There's so many different components. You have compliance. You have academics. All of it. Student services. You have so many components that you have to have the athletic department that is as successful as this one is. But I think that one thing that I've been very impressed with is the ability to communicate, and I've really enjoyed sitting in and talking strategically how to advance the department, strategically how to maximize revenue, where's our expenses, where can we be a little bit more efficient. And that's, I don't care if you're at McNeese or you're LSU or you're UL or you're at South Alabama. Everyone is dealing with the same type of challenges. It's just different zeros at the end of it.
This is definitely much bigger scale.
Yeah, for sure. But we're having the same conversations that Georgia's having, even Texas. And whether no matter where you're at, you're having those same conversations. And again, I always equate it to businesses, whether you're running a hospital or you're running a gas station or you have a chain of restaurants, the challenges are all the same. But make no mistake, and I've said this forever, this is a people business. It's not about as much what is about it is who. And, and people are what make it really, really good. And you have to manage people.
That's fact.
Yes.
It's a fact, right? Yeah.
So where I work, our owner is a high school football coach.
Yeah.
And he tells me all the time, I used to coach football too in high school, but he tells me all the time, you run this business just like I run my staff
Absolutely.
on a football level. And
Absolutely.
He runs it like a football coach too. Hey, put your hands on something. Like
Yeah.
it's tough if you haven't been around that environment.
It-
But I've been around that environment, so
Yeah.
it's common nature.
I've said this to people all the time. I think that there's two things that have enabled me to be successful in this space. One of them is my coaching background, because you learn very quickly as a coach that the standards are consistent, but how you deal with each player is a little bit different. This person over here, this player, I can push this button and I might need to yell at him a little bit. This one, I gotta, like everyone's a little bit different. So how you figure out how to get everyone moving in one direction, I think that has been, I wouldn't trade it, my 20 some years coaching for anything. And the other thing is dealing with my first 2 months on the job, 2 natural horrible disasters in Hurricane Laura and Delta.
That was my next one.
And so, yeah, I mean,
You were at McNeese during.
I was the
during
AD there. I was probably 2 months on the job. And you get hit and all of a sudden you don't have time. Like, you got to figure it out. Everyone's looking at you. You are the leader, right? So you have 400 athletes dispersed. You have all the coaches, you have all your admin, there's 500-600 people and the community looking at you saying, okay, what are we going to do? There's no book you can pull out and say, how do I lead through this? Right.
We'll bring it to that.
That's right. And so you learn really quick. And I've said this to people that at that time is when the training wheels kind of came off of me. And I'm like, this is what we're going to do. And you know what? Do you make mistakes? Absolutely. But you have some conviction, you have a vision, you communicate the vision, you get people to buy into the vision. We rebuilt all of our facilities. We raised more money than was ever raised before. After that, we've won 20 championships when I was there. Like, this is all at post these 2 national disasters. So those 2 things, I think, experiences, if you will, I look back on and saying those 2 are what has enabled me, I think, to give me the skill set to be successful in this space.
Back then, I spent a weekend with my buddy Justin Hill
Yeah.
and helped them on a weekend doing whatever they needed to do, pulling out stuff in houses and everything else.
People have no idea.
Which we've dealt with our
Yeah.
storms here,
Mhm.
but what happened in Lake Charles is a whole different story.
18 days without running water and without power. And you wake up every day and you got to lead a group of people and help rebuild a campus and rebuild a community. But the first thing you got to do is find water and gas, right? And then you learn a lot about yourself. I truly believe that's when I really fell in love with Louisiana. Was the hardest time. Went through a divorce. Have to rebuild a house, tarps on the roof, and I'm helping my neighbor. The neighbor's helping me. We're pulling out a gas grill. What are we going to cook tonight? And then you go do that, and you go and help. It was the hardest time, but I look back and go, man, that's when I fell in love with this culture and the people. Was during that
There's
time.
no doubt.
Yeah.
It's been there.
For sure.
So kind of on that angle, but not really. Talking about rebuilding buildings on campus. How much does I know a lot of people say the athletic department as a whole can stand on its own when it comes to academics, the academic side and the athletic side. When you walk around campus, you see some of them buildings that you wish were rebuilt.
Yeah.
How does the process work on getting some of those places rebuilt?
Well, here's what I do know. I don't have all the answers to that, but here's what I do know.
As an athletic department, how do you go about that?
The president is one of the biggest priorities that Dr. Roos talked to me about when he first got here. I was still at McNeese, is the deferred maintenance on so many of the buildings that are here. I know that is a huge priority for him. He recognizes that. And like I said, that's been a huge priority for him because he sees what you see. He drives around campus and sees it, and he knows that's been an issue here for a while. And there's no doubt in my mind that he's going to fix it. And let me tell you this: Dr. Roos is the best leader I've ever been around. If you should have him on this show, he'd be amazing. He's energetic.
If you can make that happen.
I might be able to get in contact with him. No guy. But I'll tell you what, he wakes up every single day. I know this with a passion. He loves Louisiana. He's from Bayou-Lafourche down. I mean, like he's an amazing guy, and he loves Louisiana. And I think it's really important and really unique to have someone from here and also want to be here and embraces the culture from that office.
That's the big part.
Right? Like he embraces everything that Louisiana is and everything that it isn't, he embraces it. And I think when you have the leader as the president that's all in, it's easy for everyone else to get momentum and get behind it.
I mean, they speak a lot of alignment on how the president, the AD, his people is all on the same page.
For sure.
Because that's the same way in coaching. If you don't embrace the culture that you're in, you have no chance. You have no chance.
No question.
No chance to succeed.
I mean, look, I think that I learned this as an AD. I hired, a coach or two that were very successful where they were, but they weren't great fits, right? And they could have been really successful on the West Coast, if you will, but it just didn't click, And I think that's one thing that I learned a lot is about fit, And when you're in a position where you're hiring coaches, and everyone talks about it, but truly the personality matters, because you don't get to an LSU or you don't even get to a McNeese as a head coach if you don't know, how to run a practice, right? Like, it, and I think Verge made that point in one of his interviews that I loved. You're not sitting down with a candidate saying, okay, tell me how you're going to run practice. You're trying to figure out, is he a fit for Louisiana? Is he a fit for, the administration, the culture of the university? Is he going to be good in the community? All those things, I think really, really matter. And I think earlier in my career, I didn't take that as probably as serious as I do now.
And like when Jay Johnson was hired, he was considered one of those West Coast
Yeah,
guys.
for sure.
And as a fan perspective, people were like, why this guy?
Yeah.
But after going to the World Series with Arizona and then coming down here, and he's since won two out of the last four.
For sure.
He fits.
That's
That
right.
dude's-
I know
that
the
dude's
guy.
deep.
Like,
He's
I'm a
in
part of
deep
the-
now. He ain't going nowhere.
For sure.
I'm a part of the coaches committee, so I've heard
Yeah.
him speak, and
Yeah.
I've met him a few times, and there's nobody that fits
100%.
here more than that.
That's right.
And the thing that's most impressive about him is most coaches like themselves a lot.
Yeah.
Ego department. But his first conversation here was with Skip Burton.
What did Doug Thompson tell us? He goes over there on Saturdays and Sundays and grills with Skip.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he has to, because he
Yeah,
wants to.
Doug came on the show a few months ago, the beginning of baseball season. But when Jay talks about, every time he speaks, he talks about how close he is to Skip Burton. And it's pretty amazing. You come in, you're not from here, you don't know anybody here.
Yep. I lived it, man. I lived it.
You come in, and if you embrace the culture,
That's
people
right.
will support you. And if people
That's
will
right.
support you, you'll win games.
Correct. And I think, Jay's a great, great example that you don't have to be from here to fit, right? I grew up in Maryland. I lived all over the country. I never, outside of coming to the Final Four in New Orleans once or twice, I'd never stepped foot in Louisiana.
You go
Now
from
you can't get me in
Maryland to Portland State
Oh, it was all over. Yeah.
to BYU
Yeah.
down to
Wyoming, Vegas,
All
North
over.
Carolina,
Where were you in
Tennessee.
North Carolina? What approximate time?
Oh gosh, you're gonna kill me here.
I ain't gonna hold you to it.
I think 15.
16.
I'm just thinking,
16.
like, I'm thinking like, in my mind, I'm thinking like, that's like a basketball hotspot.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like,
yeah.
you've probably seen some dudes.
Oh, yeah,
over
for
there.
sure, for sure. And, you know, when I was at UNLV, it was a really special time. And, you know, we recruited McDonald's All-Americans, and we had a great run there. And look, I've had a great career. You know, I love my coaching career, but, you know, I truly believe, and I've always been a man of faith, that I learned when the hurricanes came and I stood in front of my staff for the first time around a picnic table outside because we had nowhere to go because our buildings were destroyed. At that moment, I knew that the good Lord didn't send me to Louisiana to be a basketball coach. He sent me to Louisiana to lead, and there was a bigger path, a bigger plan for me. I knew at that moment.
Well, we're glad to have you for sure.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you having me here.
100%.
Yeah,
Thank you.
glad you were here.
Thank you,
We're
Kyle.
hanging some banners in the.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Not
try.
women's basketball. I mean, we'll take them too.
Yeah. I know Coach is gonna try.
We want that coveted men's that's eluded us.
People think the transfer portal is free agency and just the wild, wild west.
I'm one of them
Which-
people.
It's part of that.
I'm one of them people.
How structured is it?
It's not very structured right now.
I'm one of them
So
people.
like,
I don't
how does
know.
that process work from, say, a player A wants to be in the portal? How does he put himself in the portal?
They literally can walk down and tell the compliance person I want to put my name in the portal. It really is, it's really that simple.
And then the compliance department puts you in the computer?
Yeah, so then they put you in the portal, and I think that, you know, they got to put you in within 24 to 48 hours of the time that you alert them. And
So you still
it's-
stay enrolled at the school this whole time?
for sure, yeah, that's the one piece that, you know, they don't really, people don't realize is that there is still an eligibility component. You still have to leave eligible to be eligible somewhere else. And, you know, so, but I think that I'm all for student athletes getting paid. I do. But I do think that, you know, there needs to be some guardrails. I think there needs to be some legislation, because what we're doing right now, it's an unsustainable model. It just is. It's an unsustainable model, not just at LSU. We're one of the better. I mean, we're obviously in a better position than, I don't know, 85, 90% of the universities out there. But still,
We got several people that live in the state that have a B next to their dollar
Yeah.
amount.
yeah, but
And that helps.
it does. But I mean, it really is an unsustainable model, you know. And I think that I think Congress is starting to truly understand
I
that.
mean, we're already seeing it with that guy from Alabama that left the NBA to go back to school because he was going to make more
Because
money
you're making more
in
money in
school
college
than he
than
was in the
players do.
NBA G League, and that's not how it was.
Yeah, you know, and I think college athletics is going to get better because, to your point, Joe, some of the really good players that aren't, you know, the lottery picks and the first round picks in the NFL, they're still going to go, right? But those other guys that, hey, I might be a second round pick, but if I come back, so I think the level of play, especially in football and basketball and baseball, is going to elevate because, to your point, if you're a borderline draft pick or in football, you know, late round, you know, it's better for you to come back to college.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You want-
Especially if you got
Yeah,
preseason awards, maybe you could get you a good figure from like a tie grade or something.
correct. Yeah,
And make way more money than you would have made in getting drafted in the 6th or 7th.
absolutely. Or ended up in a CBA or, you know, or CFL, or, you know what I mean?
Making
Like,
league minimum
yeah,
versus
that's right.
making, a lot of money.
That's right.
I get it.
You weren't in the NIL era as
I
a
wasn't.
basketball coach.
Nope.
So what do fans misunderstand about roster management and how you have to, you can't just take every 5-star there is.
Look, I think that putting a team together now, let me kind of rephrase that. I think the ability to evaluate and develop and retain are really, really important. But I think
You have to recruit your own team
Every year.
more than you have to.
every year, but your ability to truly evaluate, I think it matters more now than it ever did before. The evaluation and then also the development. And I think that, I mean, look, players want to go where, they're going to be developed, where you have the things that can make them better. We have all those things, but roster management is and look, it's even way back in the day when I was doing it, recruiting was the lifeblood, is what they always said. It truly is now, but also the ability to really evaluate, because
Because if you're missing the portal, it could be a bad.
you
news
miss
for your
and
sport.
you end up paying guys that aren't good, aren't quite the ones you wanted and all that. And then, listen, I mean, there's a lot
It
of,
raises the market for,
oh yeah,
and because you think about, some people ask for $4 or $5 million now.
Well, that was gonna be my next question, was kind of geared toward that.
Yeah,
Like the Bryce Underwood, let's just use him for example, for LSU and Michigan. That's not the standard. That's like a one-off thing. Like that's like not every player that knocks on your door is like, I want $1 million or I'm not signing to LSU.
no,
Yeah, that's really out of the norm, but it gets a lot of attention because it's got a lot of numbers.
yeah, for
It
sure.
really
It's a lot of
that's
clicks.
a lot of zeros.
Yeah. But look, the toothpaste is out of the tube. It's not going to go back in. And right now we have to figure out how to be successful. I used to tell, my coaches when I was at McNeese, it's like, look, this is the world we live in, and we've got to figure out how to be successful in this world. And it's not easy. I think that, because of the amount of money that's spent now, I think that there's more pressure. I think that, the mental health of the student athletes, I think is something I really worry about. And I'm going to tell you why. Think about this: is you have a student athlete, and they make, let's just say, they make really good money, over six figures, right? Senior year. Okay, well they're not quite good enough to go play pro. And so, they've had every breakfast, lunch, dinner, et cetera, et cetera. They've had this, they've gotten NIL, rev share, et cetera. Well, they go to apply for their first job, and they say, yeah, okay, well, here's your first salary, $45,000. Do what? And I got to do what? I mean, there's a big piece of this that, in my opinion, that we really are neglecting. One thing that we did at McNeese is we did an NIL summit every year where we brought businesses, financial literacy, all this, where every student athlete was it was mandatory that they had to go through the summit. Some of them got internships, some of them got NIL deals, but all of them were educated, right? And like, what is credit? A lot of them didn't know. Like, okay, well, if you have a 400 credit and you have a 700 credit, here's your interest rate.
They never had to worry about that.
Yeah, but like at some point in time, the ball stops bouncing and you have to go to real life. And, I think that LSU, I think we do a really good job of that as well. And we were the second school in the state that even did anything like that from a summit standpoint. And but it's a big piece, I think, that not a lot of people are really talking about, because eventually these kids are going to get out of school and they have to go on and live productive lives.
A big misconception a lot of people have is Verge is the AD. If a decision is made, it's just he makes it. But how does he get to his decisions based on, like, do y'all have meetings with all the senior?
Yeah, for sure.
The deputy, is it one big conference call meeting with all of y'all and him at the end?
Yeah,
Not
I
like
mean,
you
look,
see the president, his cabinet.
Yeah, he's got a cabinet and he's putting that. We have obviously staff meetings and those things. And I think that, the one thing that I was really intrigued about was coming in and being, on the inside to help and being on this, the senior level, senior executive with Julie, where, but he, he's a leader that really takes input. He's someone, think about this, and I give him a lot of credit for this, is he walked into the AD chair, and he has Julie Cromer, who was the athletic director at the University of Ohio, and, two people who were, and myself, two sitting athletic directors, that were sitting in that chair. Now they weren't sitting here, but they were sitting in the chairs dealing with a lot of the same issues. And I give him a lot of credit for surrounding himself with people that he feels that can help him, that he feels that he can rely on. And I'm happy to play part of that role.
And what's also interesting with sitting ADs in the same office, the staff that Will Wade put together is everybody on his staff is a former head coach. From Rick Stansberry at Mississippi State, from
Johnny Jones, Damon Stoudemire, yep,
who was at LSU,
Yep.
and then North Texas, and then back to LSU, and then Stoudemire.
Yep.
And that's the same idea of having guys that have been in the picture before.
These jobs are big jobs, and one thing you learn really quick when you are the leader, if you will, when you're the AD, you're the head coach, is it becomes very lonely. And you want to. I always wanted to surround myself with people who complimented me, but also, and obviously competent, goes without saying, but people I could sit down and go, whew, like, what do you think of this? Like, what are we going to do here? And be able to have that vulnerability, if you will. And I think that when you go from being a head coach, because I did it, when you go from being a head coach to an assistant, you're a way better assistant than you ever were before you had that experience, because you know what this person's going through. And again, I'll just echo it. Again, I really commend Verge because I think that to have two people, and myself and Julie, that we're sitting ADs to come and be able to bounce things off of. I commend them for that. But these are big jobs, and we have a great staff. I mean, you sit around the table and you go down the hallway, and we have an unbelievable staff here at LSU, and some really, really great people who do great work. And I've been really, really impressed with the young people on the staff. They're so creative, and they're innovative, and their energy level, and they're on the forefront of all the new with NIL and
With Clay Harris,
yeah,
and all those
so
guys. I've looked up a little information
Yeah.
on some of those people.
they're so good. And Clay and Zach, and I mean, Matt Lamore, who is a CFO. I mean, those guys are they're young, and they're energetic, and they got great ideas. And I just it's been fun for me to come into this role. It's an honor. I'm honored to be here, and and you mentioned it earlier, Joe, but it's a great time to be at LSU.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if there was any time, right now's the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
When you got Lane Kiffin, when you got Jay Johnson, when you got Kim Mulkey, when you got Jay Clark, who's playing for a championship on Saturday.
I tell it to
And
my
Will
kids
Wade.
all the time.
Yeah.
And then
I
Will
tell my
Wade.
kids all the time, I'm like, y'all don't even know. Like, I went through some rough times.
Oh yeah.
I said, well, where like you didn't LSU, you had to be die hard.
Yeah.
I said, y'all spoiled. I said, we're getting championships all the time. And I said, they didn't do none of that. Like,
Yeah.
whenever I was, baseball was pretty much it. Nobody else was doing anything.
Ole Miss actually comes to town this weekend for
Softball.
softball.
That's right.
And Beth Torina said this is the first time Ole Miss has come in any sport here since Lane left.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Lane to be the first pitch.
And Beth said, open the press conference. Maybe we can get Lane to come up for the first pitch. Then people will actually.
Oh my gosh,
People
that would be
will come to
hilarious. That'd be hilarious.
But that's this weekend. So they're in the top 25. They upset Oklahoma early in the year,
Yep.
and they were number one in the country.
Yep.
Gymnastics is playing for a title. Baseball's been in and out of the top 25, and they'll be in a regional.
Yeah, for sure.
Football's they've
We'll have
had
a race.
several
I'm telling you, we're
several coaches that have had
I'm
national
excited.
championships recently.
26, 27 is going to be. It'll be the end of 26, and next year spring athletics is going to be awesome.
it's great. I mean, I've been to a couple of football practices, and the pace, that they're working under. I mean, Coach Kiffin's the real deal. Like, he does an amazing job, and you can just tell that he's an unbelievable communicator, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
I've heard guys like Matt Flynn and Jacob Hester and those guys who know what practice is because they both played in the NFL.
for sure.
They went out to see Lane Kiffin's practice and said, this is a whole new world.
Oh yeah, it's
Like the tempo.
absolutely. The tempo.
And the defense is going to be so much better because they're playing in practice
Correct.
against
That's
a
exactly right.
super high tempo.
That's exactly right.
And nobody in the country
It's doing that.
is going to play.
That's right.
Nobody they see on offense is going to be faster than
Yeah.
the team they practice.
Absolutely.
So they'll be used to it
Mhm.
throughout the year. And that's a big difference.
When you talk about a great operation, I mean, it's unbelievable. The efficiency in which that building is ran is something I mean, it's top notch. But I mean, Coach Kiffin has done. I mean, he's going to do an amazing job.
And he goes out.
He is.
He goes out a lot to restaurants and
Oh yeah,
games and everything else like that.
100%.
And I've seen him out in a lot of different places. I met him once. I was working for ESPN Radio covering high school sports.
Yeah.
And he was at Ole Miss, but he was recruiting at Episcopal one time.
Oh, okay.
And
Mhm.
I saw him on the sideline. We had a little conversation. Never knew that in a few years
He'd be here.
he'd be
How
here.
about that?
And it's pretty cool being
Let's talk about a fit.
oh
It's a pretty good fit.
that's a
Hey,
that's a
we
fit
got our
for sure.
tickets. We got our tickets.
That's right.
For Ole Miss.
That's
We're going.
We're
to
actually-
Ole Miss.
One of our buddies is actually a big Ole Miss guy. Works at a car dealership in Oxford.
Yeah.
And he was actually here this week for
Oh
work.
really?
And, He came to the game with us Tuesday as an Ole Miss guy, but he's got us somewhere set up. So we're going to be in Oxford
That's awesome.
in September.
You going to do Joe?
He
Oh,
said,
that's awesome.
he
There's
said, what do you
four of
think
us.
about going? I said, what?
There's 4 of us going.
What
That's
is
awesome.
that?
And on Friday night before the game, we're going to be somewhere. If
We're going to be in
it's
some place called the library, he said.
a bar
It's
or
like-
somewhere
like a
as
Freddie
doing
Beats.
our show.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And then he says he's got us tickets. I showed him prices on what tickets are going for. I said, "Are you sure you guys want tickets?" He says, "I work at Nissan. Believe me, I got you."
That's
So I'm like,
awesome.
okay, so
That's awesome.
we're gonna pack up because all you need is a laptop.
Yeah.
Like as long as you got internet,
It's going to be
I
fun.
love it.
that's all you need. And
I love it.
they said, "You gonna be all right going up there?" I was like, "I'm down."
I love it. It's awesome.
I got one more question, and then we will get to this food because it's
Okay.
kind of looking at it. So when basketball season starts, October-ish or whatever,
Mhm.
do you travel with the team?
I'll travel to, not to every game, but I'll be at a lot of them for sure.
And like as far as like let's say like today was game day, I mean, I'm assuming they don't, but do they come to you like, hey, we got everything ready? We need you to sign off on this, or is that people below you that kind of handle?
I mean, I sign off on a lot of it for sure. Obviously I oversee it, but I really don't, and it's just my leadership style. I don't get into the deep in the weeds. People say, "Hey, what do recruit?" I'm not going to ask Coach, "Hey, who recruiting?" And he's got it. But
You don't
the
have
big,
you don't have an earpiece in the
No,
suite
no.
saying,
and
"Hey,
I don't go down to the office every day and
throw
say,
this
"Hey,
pitch,
let me see the
run
film."
this
Yeah.
set."
I don't do that, but the best way to probably say it, Joe, is I try, and I did this when I was an AD, is I try to look at it from 30,000 feet, and I come to Coach with things from 30,000 feet. He's got enough to deal with at 3,000 feet, but from a big picture standpoint, where are we at? We want to get around to different parts of the state when the portal closes. We talk about a lot of those things, and but it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. But I'm with Joe. I've been hearing about this barbecue sauce now for about 2 hours.
Someone's calling me. Probably your boy.
He's live on
That's
live on
probably,
Facebook.
That's
His
probably
phone.
somebody calling me about my car's extended warranty.
Your car's in extended warranty.
This time of year, it's not car extended warranties. This time of year, it's have you heard about this? What they're doing in Congress and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's election time, so you get the election stuff.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Not only did this show amazing, but this barbecue sauce is unbelievable.
The sauce boss, make sure the sauce boss is on your offer.
Oh, for sure.
We got a buddy of mine owns a barbecue place, and I swung in there and I said,
Deuces.
yeah, Deuce's Smokehouse, shout out.
Okay.
But I went in there because he was a guy I met making hats, and he got an opportunity to buy this barbecue place. So he bought it after I had met him. I went in there and I was like, I want to try this, this, and this, but I want like a spicy barbecue sauce. He said, well, I don't really have one. Not yet. I said, You do now. Adam went by there the next day, gave him the sauce. They do a
Dropped him
Wednesday
off.
wing special, and we dropped him off some sauce, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
started selling it on their 50-cent wing Wednesdays. You can get a Bayou Brother.
And shout out to Walk-Ons. We went and got some boneless wings from Walk-Ons right next door because this is the easiest thing to taste it with. But
It's
yeah,
legit.
I need to get a bottle of that to go.
we got you covered.
Yeah,
I know a guy.
Yeah, we want to get this on in the little packs at the concession stand across the street.
Mm.
So if you go to a Texas Ranger game, they're big into Sweet Baby Ray's.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet Baby Ray's actually has a deal with the Rangers
Mhm.
to where their concession stands, their whole concession stand is Sweet Baby Ray's.
Wow.
Uh,
That's pretty cool.
Tony Sessions does it for
Mhm.
some. They have concession Tony's
Yep.
concession where they sell their jambalaya and stuff. But when I walked into there for a game last year to see Josh Smith, who plays for the Rangers, I said, you know what? Having that in one of these stadiums one day,
Pretty cool.
that'd be pretty cool.
You gotta set goals.
That's right.
You don't get anywhere without goals, that's for sure.
That's
We
exactly
know,
right.
and we
Kyle.
know a guy now too.
That's right. You know a guy.
Yeah, so I have baseball season tickets. So just sitting there throughout the years, and you seeing one of our co-hosts who's not here tonight because he's got 800 other jobs that he's just a busy guy.
Yep.
He is high up in Bengal Pest Control,
Oh, wow. Okay.
and so they have a sign out there,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I asked him, I said, how does that work? I know I'm not ready for that, but
You just gotta have enough money, I would assume.
yeah, it's a
just boils-
checkbook.
It
You
just
gotta
goes
write-
down to if you can put enough commas in.
have a lot of zeros.
in that check box. We'll get there.
And so, yeah, that's just a thing. I left my keyboard at home, but on Friday nights at Chris's Specialty Foods,
Ooh.
we have live music and crawfish every Friday night during crawfish season from 6 to
Love
9. This week, there's an all-you-can-eat for $34.99.
Mm.
If you know where Rufino's is,
Yes.
it's across the street.
Yeah.
Legitimately across the street.
Sweet. Okay.
But yeah, every Friday night from 6 to 9 with corn, potatoes, you know the deal. 2 big TVs, so we'll watch LSU baseball on TV or
Mhm.
basketball or whatever's on
Local
TV.
musicians, bring in local musicians.
Local musicians.
I
come in.
love live music. Yeah.
But
My
yeah,
girlfriend and I we love that.
We got a lot of that around here too. You'll see is like,
we do
we got a lot, and we do a lot. We deal a lot with them, with the local musicians.
a lot of our circle are live musicians, so we'll go to a lot of their shows and feed them
we
post show.
Yeah, feed them before the show.
Feed them post show or pre show or whatever. There's a couple big ones coming up at the Texas Club. If there's an event at the Texas Club, we're usually there
Love it.
because good chance somebody opening or closing are friends of ours.
Yeah.
So, and the way I look at it is, if you have a product and you're in, say, 50 stores, unless people go to the store and buy your product, you can't refill the store. So you have to have other ways and outside the box ways to network.
Sure.
And I have 17 or 18 barbecue sauces on different tour buses from people that have come through here.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
We went and saw Corey Kent last week. And that's one of the most down to earth, normal dudes ever. And then
You become a hometown hero, or you become a hero in general real quick when you walk in with a couple of bottles of barbecue sauce and a big platter of food and sausage. And,
Oh, you're in.
oh,
Man.
they
Oh, no
don't.
doubt.
They don't. Even if they know you, they learn you real quick, and they get to know. They get to know
That's
when they
awesome.
see Adam. Mainly him more than me, but when they see him, they know that he's about to be packing up.
there's food coming with it.
That's awesome.
Because around here, what's the saying? Around here, if you go home hungry, that's
your own
your
fault.
that's your own damn fault.
That's right.
But Chase Tyler, he's a friend of the show as well. He was at Fred's on the River last week. He'll be at the Cattle Barons Ball in Alexandria on the 16th, St. Jude Church Fair on the 17th,
the Bear Fair in Port Allen on the 18th. St. Joan of Arc Fair, he's hitting up all the fairs on the 24th in Laplace. And then on May
He's a
7th,
guy you're going to see a lot being around LSU
Mhm.
because he does a lot of the. He's done several this year. National anthems,
at the
Okay.
different sports.
baseball, softball. Probably, I would be shocked if he didn't end up at a basketball one. He's in that circle of guys that does it for him, and he's done it several
great.
times.
And then May 8th, he just announced he's doing a show with Marty Rayburn of Shenandoah at the Texas Club. And
Yeah, we were
they're
just talking
doing-
about that. Okay.
they're doing
That's
VIP
great.
tickets for a crawfish boil with Chase Tyler and Marty Rayburn.
That's awesome.
And then a 90s country show where they're going to sing all of Shenandoah's hits. And
That's great.
we'll be there. We're actually, when it gets closer, we're going to give away a hat, a Bayou Brothers hat, signed by Marty Rayburn and Chase, and a pair of tickets to the crawfish boil. We'll give that away on the show in a couple weeks.
I love it.
But Chase is a very good friend of the show. His song will be "Louisiana's My Home." We'll play at the end, and then Thomas Kane. He doesn't do his monthly schedule. He does a whole, He's at Old Red in Vegas. Next week he'll be at the Whiskey Tavern in Covington, Tick Falls, Springfield, Prop Stop, Live After 5 in Ponchatoula. But if you want live music, there's
no shortage of it.
there's no shortage. There's a website. I don't know if you know about it. There's a website called 225
Okay.
225liveevents.com, and
Awesome.
you can click on it. It will tell you what live music is being played tonight in every spot there is.
Oh,
Literally down to
okay.
if there's
It's
a guy.
a whole
I
list.
mean, there could be a guy sitting right there with a guitar.
It'll
and
be on the
he's going
list,
to be on
yeah.
that list.
And-
It's
And
awesome.
so it'll tell you who's playing, what kind of music they're playing, where they're at. Because if I don't have anything to do one night, I'll go to the website, see who's playing
Yeah.
and where.
we brought several of them on the show to try to,
Yeah, for sure. Help them.
we help each other.
Yeah.
Support local. That's we kind of started with the thing Adam was talking about, where we were trying to talk about the different food or whatever, and then we had some people hit us up about, hey man, can we talk about this charity event, this concert, this and that? So then we kind of went away and started talking more about
Yeah.
stuff local to the people here that could help people grow their brands, help people do different things like that, because ultimately that's what it's all about.
That's right.
Yeah,
It's been awesome.
it all started with a way to talk about local events, whether it be LSU. It's hard not to talk about LSU
Yeah.
because we're
So
literally
Right over here.
If I can throw, I tell people, if I can throw a baseball in this parking lot
Yeah.
as far as I can, pick it up and throw it as far as I can one more
Well, when the
time,
blinds are up,
and
you can see the,
maybe the third time, but I will get it in the stadium
you can
because
see,
we're
you
that
can see it
close.
from here. When
And, Shadows of Tiger Stadium, it's right there. You can look at it sitting at our table in there.
That's how I told my mom
With the
how to
lights.
get here.
Well, I tell
drive
people-
to the football stadium.
Well, I tell people to go to walk-ons and we're in that parking lot. It's a lot easier.
And I'll be the first one to say it. Though. We really appreciate you, brother.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you. I
and,
appreciate you, Joe.
looking
Thank you.
forward to,
Adam, thank you. Kyle,
Thank you.
appreciate you, my
Yes,
man.
sir.
It's awesome.
Looking forward to having you back, but having you back with some good news to talk about the winning streaks and
Love it, man. I'm anytime.
BMAC with men's basketball, which we haven't had. I mean, Will Wade had it coming back the first time, but it's been a while since we had to get excited about it.
And I know you've only been in Baton Rouge for, you said 9 days or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But you're going to have a lot of seasoning and a lot of sauces
Thank
and a
you,
lot of
brother.
different stuff headed
Thank
to your
you. I
house.
appreciate that. Thank you guys for having me. It was a blast, and I look forward to coming back soon.
We'll see you again whenever me, you, and Kyle go
Oh, yeah.
to the basketball game.
100%. I'm there.
Yeah,
Yes,
we'll
sir.
We'll
go
get
to,
football before that, my friend. I'm telling you. I'm going to get you down there.
Yes,
I
sir.
know a guy.
and then next week we will not have a show. Next week is Jazz Fest on Thursday, and I'll be at Jazz Fest. We do the chicken crackling and pork crackling at Jazz Fest. for
You had any of that
Christmas.
stuff since you've been here?
Oh, yeah.
Chicken cracklings and stuff?
Oh, love that stuff.
Uh,
Love it.
And then April 30th, we'll have Brittany Ensminger Schaefer, Kendall Schaefer's wife. She's a DJ at 100.7. May 7th, we will have executive chef Michael Johnson
the executive chef for LSU athletes,
Mhm.
to tell us how he breaks
does
it
a
down
great job.
and how that works.
He does a great job.
I heard-
Awesome. job.
I heard him on on the morning show with Hester and Flint, and I sent him a message right after that, and he responded, and
It's awesome. He
he's
does
gonna
they do such a great job.
he's gonna come
It's
May
great.
7th and
Awesome.
tell us how that works. I'm
Good.
hoping to get by sometime before then, just to get a little video on how some of that works, because I've been in there a couple times, and that's cool. That place is
It's really
impressive.
Yeah.
And
It's
people,
What you think, Kyle?
people don't realize.
About what?
About everything.
Oh no. I think it's awesome, and I can't wait to get a ticket to so many games and come experience.
You know a guy, huh?
Yeah,
You know him now, baby.
I know a couple guys.
I love it.
But
Thank you.
yeah, next week, no show. We'll be back in 2 weeks, but look forward to
Being back here in a couple weeks.
I come from Louisiana, from the banks of the Pontchartrain. I was born in an old houseboat in the eye of a hurricane. I've been all around this great big world, but no matter where I roam, I'll always come back to Louisiana, 'cause Louisiana is home. People stop and ask me where it is that I come from. I tell them I am so down south, even the Mississippi's scared to run. Oh, from Bourbon Street to Baton Rouge, from Malibu to Thibodeau, I'll always come back to Louisiana, 'cause Louisiana is home. We got cypress storms and Salisbury Corn, jambalaya and fado, New Orleans blues and Mardi Gras too, and the bars they never close. Now you can take me away from this bayou state, but I won't be gone too long. And I'll always come back to Louisiana, 'cause Louisiana is home. We got cypress storms and Salisbury Corn, jambalaya and fado, all these blues and Mardi Gras too, and the Tigers of LSU. You can take me away from this bayou state, but I won't be gone too long. And I'll always come back to Louisiana, 'cause Louisiana is my home.